Welcome back to Dying to Be Beautiful. On today's podcast, I have a wonderful guest with me. This is Ashley, aka I call her Lashes because she was one of my students when I was teaching beauty school, and there was like 700 Ashleys. So this is Lashes.
Hello, everybody.
So, as many of you guys have heard, probably in Idaho, because that's where we reside, is in Idaho, they are trying to lower the cosmetology hours from 1,600 to 1,000. They've already in 2018 lowered it from 2,000 to 1,600, which, I mean, 1,600 is a lot to cram in, but it's still a lot, right? Like, because you went through foundations was what? 8 weeks?
Yeah, I think, foundations is an 8-week period, and then you hit the floor right after that.
Right. So you had 2 months of learning everything.
Yep.
So, and then you had what, like 1,600 hours is like a little over a year.
Yeah. It's when I did it, it averaged out to 13 months is what it came up to.
So if you figure it in a whole, right, you had foundations for those couple extra months after the year, and then you had a whole year to practice what you were supposed to practice.
Yeah.
And if we go down to 1,000, and you take away 2 months out of that 1,000 to learn all the foundation stuff, because that's where you learn everything. You only have 4 months to be on the floor to learn this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little ludicrous.
Just a little.
So before I start, I want to be very, very transparent with everybody. This is not about bashing schools or educators. There are amazing educators out there that truly do care as I do. This is about protecting the integrity of our industry and bringing awareness to make changes in a field that is starting to crumble in front of us. So I did a little bit of research on this stuff because I have been an educator here in Idaho and in California. They've already rolled this out in California. And also now California, you don't have to take the practical exam. You just have to take a 110 question exam. And then you get your Cosmo license, your barber license, your SD license, all of this stuff. So they're not even seeing if you know what you're doing. When it first rolled out, the schools that I was working at, they didn't go clear down. They knocked it down to like 1,500 hours and then tried to do other classes off of that, like hairstyling classes and stuff like that. So that school didn't really take a hit on it. But then I worked at a school that did the 1,000 hours. And when I did, I could see a huge difference. These students were like, it was quick, bam, bam, you learn, you were out on the floor and you were hoping you remembered what the hell you just learned. And it was like, remember how when I was a theory educator. I've also been a floor educator. I've taught everything. But remember when I was doing theory and we would have that theory and then we would go into, it would kind of coincide with what was going on the floor.
Yeah.
You know? We did a week, like we had a chapter for a week, and then that next week we did the next chapter. When it was the 1,000 hours, it was chapter 1 on this day, chapter 2 the next day, chapter 3. Can you imagine that? And we know
we would spend like a week on maybe like a chapter. If it was like a longer chapter, we would spend
on anatomy. The science one, I think we did 2 weeks.
Yeah,
because learning
so much. It's so much information packed so tightly into this book that we have to memorize and learn and retain all of that information as much as we can.
Right. And like some of the shorter chapters were a lot easier. But then when we started getting into the hands-on chapters like hairstyling or perms or highlights and color and all of that stuff, we took a little extra time because it's honestly, you guys, it is so much more than just slapping some color on the head.
Yeah.
It is. It
takes 2 minutes to burn somebody's scalp.
2
Literally.
seconds.
I mean, you can put lightener on your finger, and within seconds, your finger's white.
It's white, and that is.
It's a burn.
It's a chemical burn.
It's a chemical burn.
Yeah.
And a lot of girls would give themselves chemical burns on their hands because they wouldn't wear gloves.
Right. And then remember when they would have to go clock in and out, they couldn't clock in and out with their fingerprints
all burnt off.
Like,
When are you going to learn?
Well, that being said, so I read this post. I have to read it to you guys because
Yeah.
this was
Blew my mind.
wild. Okay. So this is our representative from Nampa, Idaho. His name was Brent Crane. He questioned why Cosmos need the level of training that it is. And he states, I don't think you're ready for this. He states, I'm struggling why this needs to be licensed, he said. My 15-year-old can do this at home. She has never had a chemical burn and she changes her hair all the time. A bad haircut can be fixed in 2 weeks. A bad set of nails can be fixed in a month. And I'm struggling with what the necessity of even 1,000 hours is. Help me to understand how this world is going to end if we do this. When I read this, girl, let me tell you, my head turned so fast, my chins couldn't keep up. They were like, what?
I'm with you on that one because it's like, well, okay, yeah, a haircut takes about 2 weeks to grow back, but here's the problem with that. That's a haircut. It's not just haircutting that we do. We use chemicals. We use a bunch of different things, perm solutions. We use neutralizing solutions, everything that you can think of under the sun. That could cause chemical burns. That could cause hair loss. You name it. I have seen some of the most gruesome pictures of people that have had burned people's scalps to the point where they had to get skin grafts because of somebody's negligence.
Yeah.
It's not just hair cutting. It's not just a simple haircut. It's more than that. It goes way more into depth. And that's what they don't understand.
No, they don't. Because, like, when you started beauty school, did you ever think in a million years you were going to have to learn anatomy?
No.
Or, like, the layers of the skin?
I didn't think I was going to have to learn the
muscles. Yeah, muscles, bones.
bones.
But why do we learn muscles and bones?
Because it's on our bodies. It's on our
Right.
person. It's part of us.
Touch them. When we are doing massages, listen, anybody will tell you, massage therapists, doctors, everybody, physical therapists will tell you, if you do not know how to massage a muscle properly, you can damage that muscle.
Well, that's why we learn, like, where the origin of the muscle begins, where it ends, and the reason why we massage in that certain position. And it's all so that way we don't cause more harm or more damage.
Exactly. Correct.
And we learn all of that. We learn as much as a physical therapist does.
Yes. And then we learn chemistry because I cannot tell you how many pictures or even clients I have seen with my old 2 eyeballs behind the chair color their hair at home. And then we know it's a lie.
Yes.
And then they come in, and I had a stylist that did a perm on her client. You know, she went through everything and it all checked out, and she did a perm on it. And this poor lady went from having hair like down here permed up to a pixie cut because she had what we call in the industry a chemical cut. So her hair, literally, if you guys have never felt hair that has been compromised to the point of no return, it is like soggy, stretchy ramen noodles.
Well, I mean, even if the minute you take a virgin structured hair, right, which means that nothing has ever touched it, nothing's ever happened to it, and the minute you put a chemical on that, it is now compromised, and the hair will no longer ever return back to that original state. So when you do it so much to the point where it literally causes your hair to melt, there's a problem, a huge problem, and it will never ever return back to normal until your hair unfortunately grows out and it becomes natural again. Yes, hair grows, but if you burn up here at the follicle state, you're screwed. Good luck ever getting your hair back because it's not coming back.
No, it's not. That is the point of no return. But if you didn't know chemistry, what would you do? You'd be like, okay, yeah, girl, I can, you just got highlights like a couple months ago? Yeah, let's put this perm on you.
Yeah, let's just slap this on there.
Let's just put all these chemicals on here because,
we don't know what they do.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything. You're going to be great. It's going to be an Instagram moment.
Well, it's like people that are uneducated and they come to me and they're like, oh, well, I want to do this service, but can I get this service? And they're both chemical services at the same time. And I'm like, you want me to put mustard gas on your head? Because that's what's going to happen. Yeah. And you're going to have no hair. You're going to be just a ball of flame.
Yeah, then I'm gonna have to tell you my wig guy.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to be educated about it. It's so important to have the education.
And
because it takes 1 millisecond to mess somebody up.
And that's what like they don't understand. But like this is so that came from anybody that wants to know. That was posted. We are real and raw today.
Not posted. It's posted today.
We are real and raw today, guys. I hope you love it. Posted on Boise Development News. So this came straight from
the source.
The news. Let me tell you, Lashes, I'm not a stylist that's a hater. I get it. Sometimes, I mean, like, listen, during COVID, we all try box dye. Okay.
Well, I've been there. I was a box dye fan.
Me too.
Like, I was a fan. Like, my hair had, like, the blackest black of box dyes you could find in the store on my head. But when I started cosmetology school.
Yeah, because we didn't know, right? And that was the blackest.
Yeah. And I didn't know the chemicals that go into making up the dye itself and why it's so potent and why it stays in the hair forever.
Yes.
And you literally cannot get it out. It won't leave.
Yeah, because there's a difference, you guys. Here's the thing. Like, I'm not a box dye basher. I mean, it makes our life hell. Let's be honest. Black box dye and red box dye is the devil.
Don't even get me started on red.
Oh.
I won't touch that.
It's the devil. But if you didn't know the chemistry, you guys wouldn't know why it's the devil. And here's the reasoning. Honestly, box dye has metallic dyes. Metallic dyes go in your hair and they work differently. And they mess up everything, and they're harder to get out because the bond structure is like it sucks on.
It's like the difference between Gorilla Glue and Super Glue,
like literally.
Like,
and then
seriously.
professional color, it is made to perform with the hair and help the hair and help it be nourishing. Yes, I know in the box colors they give you that amazing conditioner that makes your hair feel like bomb.com
for at least a day.
Like
for 1 day.
Yeah. But it does that because it's messed it up so bad, it's got to put that stuff back in there.
And honestly, I think like most of the time with those conditioners, they're just realistically, like they just are very deep conditioning treatment. And then they've got oils in them.
Yep.
And the oils is what coats the hair to make it look like it's sleek and shiny.
Yep.
And then you do another rinse or another wash with your own stuff, and then it's not the same as it was.
And you're like, why does your hair feel like this?
I wonder.
Yeah.
You feel like
I
wonder why.
So that's why. And then, like I said, in our industry, box dye is really hard to get out of the hair, especially like when people, and I know this firsthand because when I was in beauty school, I was that black box dye girly, right? And I went to a phenomenal school. Like, I will praise my beauty school till the day I die. But I had a master colorist as an educator, and she was talking about this in class one day. And I was like, well, I had short hair. I had like an asymmetrical cut where it was short on this side and then long on the other. So it wasn't very long. And I told her, what do we do? Like, let's do it. I want to see what happens. And she got me lightened to, I was like, probably not quite a 9, which in our terminology, like the blondest blonde is a 10 and black is a 1 when you think about it in what we talk about. So I was pretty light.
Yeah.
And then I went home. Okay, mind you, I had this lightener on my hair, but my hair was only like an inch long in some spots. And then it went to probably like 2 to 3 inches. And then down the side was probably, more like 5 or 6. Yeah. So, I mean, my hair was short, which short hair is stronger when it's being lightened. So she put it on there, got all lightened. Then she tells my little Paco's nachos that I was in school with, go to Sally's and buy some T18. All of us know about T18. It is like everybody knows T18 toner going to get you white. Because that toner, most toners use a 5 volume developer, which is really, really low. And Wella in their 18 series, they use 20 vol. So what that means in volume in our terms is the strength of the developer opens the cuticle of the hair a certain amount, right? Can a 10 volume do what a 5 volume does? Yes. A 5 volume will take longer because it's not as potent. Just to fill you guys in so you're catching
The
along.
hydrogen peroxide inside the developer.
Yes, correct.
Which you learn in cosmetology school.
I mean, yeah, and you're learning today because you're welcome.
Yeah, we're educating up in here.
Up in here. And so is Garfield.
Yeah,
So we go home and we put that on there and we have the 20 ball on there, right? You know, with the T18. So when I was done, I looked like Elsa.
Well, and I think if people actually follow it to like the packaging, the manufacturer.
Yeah, and we did because we were in beauty school, girl. We read that thing.
When you process that, the processing time is like 35 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is too.
So then if you go that full time, like you were looking like the color of the white on that poster.
Yes, I was.
You were flat
in the dark.
No yellow, no orange, white.
But my bangs, funny enough, my bang area, because I had the black box dye in there, and all of us know in hair world, when you lighten black box dye, you have different colors. You literally become a tricolor in one strand. So I was pretty light up here because, of course, that was my virgin hair. And then down here where that black box dye, sat. And then, of course, when we're younger, we don't think to just do our roots. We just slap that crap all over our head, right? So now I have all this buildup. So this hair right here only got to like orange. And when I say orange, I mean Garfield orange. You seen Garfield? How orange he was? The orange.
The level 7.
Yes. More, yeah, I was gonna say it was more like a hit. So what I did was my bangs went from pink to purple to blue to counteract it, right? So I had Elsa white hair with these fashion colors, and I was
rocking it.
But I wanted to know. That's why black box dye it's hard and stuff, but they don't tell you that on commercials, right? They're like, oh, get some Garnier Fruit. Yeah, we got these oils in here.
It's got argan oil and it's got tea tree oil, whatever
else. And we're like, oh, I just don't have time, or sometimes our funds is not funding, and box dye is right there. I can go to Walmart, I can go to Walgreens, I can go to Target, I can go to Winco, and I can get me some box dye and just throw it on my hair. And then you know what my favorite part about box dye is? You know when you look at the color and you're like, ooh, that color's like pretty, and then you flip it over, and it says if you have this color, this is the color you're gonna get. But how many of us really look at that? No, we see that chick on the front with that cherry cola.
And you're like, I want
cherry.
And you have platinum blonde hair, and you want cherry cola.
Yeah. And then
you ain't getting cherry cola.
And you're wondering a couple days why it's so faded and looks all gross.
Why am I a fiery red?
Why? I don't understand.
I wanted some brown in here. Yeah, you're not getting that when you're platinum. Not happening.
No. So we just want to bring awareness to you guys. Like I said, if you are in the industry, especially us that went to beauty school for a long time. I did, but not because I dropped out and I didn't go to school. I started school, and then some family things happened when I was at 1,300 hours in California, and I had to move to Montana, and Montana was still 2,000 hours, and they wouldn't give me any of my hours from California. So I had to start all over. And then once I was 1,000 hours deep in there, and if your math is mathing, that's 2,300 hours now. Like that's a lot, right? Then I moved back to California, and I was so glad because I already knew what I was doing when I was in the beauty school in Montana. And I'm going to be 100. They didn't like me. It was sad. It was hard. It was hard. Yeah, I didn't fit in. I didn't. And so I was like, hell yes, I want to go back to the school that I started at, right? Okay, 2,300 hours, right, guys? Right? Yep. Go back to that school that I was 1,300 hours deep in and only needed 1,600 hours. Plus I got this 1,000 hours, right? I get back there, they only give me 900 hours of all of it.
I would have grown it.
All of it. I absolutely, when I went to beauty school, I am more me doing this than my entire life.
Your passion. It's your drive and your passion, and it's what what motivates you.
It's true. It's true because I was in the nursing field for 13 years before I got into hair. And the part of that I loved was helping people. And so when I started doing hair, one of my really good friends that did my hair, I love you, Gary. I love you, girl. She told me, she was like, Stace, why don't you go do hair?
You're like, well,
You're still helping people feel good, but like in a more positive way. And she was right. And then I got to use my creativity too.
Exactly.
Because I'm a creative person.
Well, yeah, like that's why you love doing hair, and then there's me. Like I like doing hair. Don't get me wrong, I love doing hair, but nails is where I have flourished. I think it's because it's so different every day.
Yeah.
It's something different every day.
Yeah.
Somebody wants a different design, different length, different this. Like there's so much that goes into it that I have to learn for just to do that too. Like I have to be more cautious when I'm doing nails than anything, in my opinion.
Right. And I want you guys to know, okay, so like I said, 900 hours at that school.
Yeah.
By the time I got done, I was rolling out 3,200 hours, guys. That's a lot of hours.
More than anybody's ever done.
I learned Pivot Point. I learned Miladies. Those are the two curriculums that everybody uses. So I learned both of them. And I'm going to be 100% with you guys, even though I had that 3,200 hours of teaching. I still, when I graduated, I still felt like I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And I got really super lucky. When I graduated, I got into a salon. My owner of the salon was an educator. She was a Redken educator, and she helped me a lot. So, I mean, I've had a really good path, but not everybody gets that path.
Right.
Not everybody does.
Well, like, look at me. I got 1,300 hours or 1,600 hours of education, and then was thrown into the world to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
So then I go into the salon thinking I can do commission, and I'm going to build up all this clientele, and I'm going to offer hair, and I'm going to offer nails. And that's what I did. And when I started getting in clients that wanted to do blondes, I almost shit my pants because I was like, what am I doing? Yeah. I'm like, I have no idea what to do. Like, yes, I know how to lay down the color, and I know how to put this and how to do that. But then when it comes to the toners and when it comes to doing this specific thing and this specific thing, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And then I used one formula. I started with one product line, and I was like, okay, this is, I've heard great things about this. This is great. And then the formula changed. Yeah. So then I'm starting to get different colors and different variations from this. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Yeah. And then I switched to a different color line. And then they started having issues too. And I was like, okay, like, I know, like, is it me? No. You know what I mean? So then I'm second guessing myself because, as a new stylist, that's what I was doing. So I was like, I'm going to mess somebody's hair up or I'm going to hurt somebody. And so I took a step back and I was like, you know what? Hair is not where I'm confident right now. I have zero confidence in it. The school that I went to taught me the bare freaking minimum. Bare minimum. Bare. And then expected me to know what I was doing and expected me to feel confident and to be able to do people's hair without messing them up. And I was the type of person where I was like, I'm absolutely not going to be the girl that is blasted all over Facebook because I wanted to get my money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yep. Yes, I have bills to pay. Of course I do. Nobody else pays my bills for me. I do that on my own. But I also will refuse to hurt somebody or to make somebody feel less than how they came in. You know what I mean? My goal is for them to come into me, to sit down in my chair, and to walk out with extra smiles on their face and to feel more confident and more beautiful than they ever have. Exactly. And if I was known for frying somebody's hair off, I would absolutely be distraught. Well, and that's where these hours become important because you are supposed to make these mistakes while you're in school, while you have a mentor to be able to help you and to talk you through it. But then here's the other side of that. You have I'm not calling out all instructors. Please, please, please do not take this way. But there is some instructors. I have worked with them. Ashley here has dealt with them that they don't know what they're doing and they don't know how to help you. And they, at that point, because we all know a salon floor at a beauty school can get chaotic. It gets very chaotic. And if you cannot handle the pressure or flourish under chaos, it's probably not your jam. But it's a lot. It's intense.
With that being said, I understand where sometimes it gets lost where they just want to hurry up and get you going and then get that client done because I got another one over here or I got 6 more fires over here that I got to put out. Yeah. I get that. I've been there. I've worked on the floor. I know that. Right. I know that it's hard. But it only takes, when I was on the floor, it only took me how long to help you with something, to be able to explain it a little further. I was explaining while we were walking to the color bar, girl.
Well, and another thing that you did that I absolutely adored and appreciated that other stylists or other instructors that were around did not, is that you never made me feel like I was making a mistake.
Nope.
You say, "Oh, we made a discovery."
Yep.
And then that made me feel like, okay, well, I'm not dumb. You know what I mean? Or I'm not messing up entirely. And like accidents happen. That's why I'm in school. Is to learn, is to become better. But when I was in school and they only gave me hair cutting clients all the time, or pedicures and manicures, what am I realistically learning? I had no facial clients when I was there, which that's part of my education is to do skin.
Right. Just your models that
just,
you have.
just in my foundation period is when we were doing skin. That's it. And then after that on the floor, we don't get any skin people unless they actually request it.
Right, because the esthetician.
Yes, they get all of them. And then I did, the majority of what I did on the floor was hair cutting. I did so many freaking haircuts, like so many of them. I should have started like counting them up because I think I probably did over 100. Like I was doing a back-to-back 30, I was doing them in 35 minutes. That's including like wash style, blowout, everything. I was doing it in 35 minutes and they just kept racking them in. And then like I would get maybe like one highlight or one like balayage in 2 months.
And the rest was perms and haircuts.
Yep, perms, haircuts, and manicures and pedicures because there was only 2 girls that were confident in doing nails, and it was me and this other girl.
Right. And so that used to drive me crazy at the school that you went to because some of the other schools that I worked at, we rolled through the students. Like,
which is how it should be.
It should be. And like we would check and see like, because when you go to beauty school, you have to have like, let's say 110 perms by the time you graduate. Or you have to have
I think the way they do it, you have to have so many like hours in.
Yeah, so many hours in perm. It's like that.
That's weird.
So it was like that in California too, but they tallied it up with like, they would give you sheets every month, like your guys' sheets that you had, and it would coincide with how many you needed to have done that week to equal up to those hours. Really what it was.
There would be so many girls that would be like, hey, hey Ashley, like I don't know how to do a haircut. Like they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I only get highlights.
Yeah.
And so they're like, can you help me? And then I'm like, okay, well, yeah, but if I do that, I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know, like,
well,
so
yeah,
it's just hard.
It was really hard. And then how we combated that, and I made the suggestion, but yeah. So we would do is at the end of the month, it was some of our responsibilities to go back through and see like, okay, Ashley's done a crap ton of perms and haircuts. Let me, when these clients come in, let me give her these clients.
Right.
So that it was spread out between you guys. It wasn't just.
I get it. You get good at doing one thing and then they're like, okay, well, this person's really good at it.
They're she's fast. We can get them in and out. But it's a double-edged sword.
Exactly. Because but it's like, I need to learn other things too, not just one simple thing. Like, yes, I can do that. Yes, I'm confident in that. But I need to be confident in everything else too. And that goes back to the whole hour situation. You drop the hours in cosmetology and you're not going to have time to teach.
Right. And like I said, realistically, 1,000 hours you're doing because there is no way in sweet Mimo that you are not going to learn foundations. You have to have like at least 2 months.
Yeah.
You have to, because you are learning how to cut hair. You're learning how to hold your dang scissors and comb at the same time.
Right. And I know that some people are like, oh, well, how am I supposed to make that work? Because I have a life outside of school and I need to do this and I have bills that I have to pay when I'm in school. So did I.
Yeah.
I worked full time while I was a full-time student.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I made it work.
Yeah.
And I did it every single night. I would get home at 11 p.m., would take a shower, eat my dinner, do whatever I needed to do, go to sleep, wake up at 6 o'clock the next morning to be to school by 7.
Yep. Yep.
I made it work. And you have to.
And it was hard. It was hard. It is hard.
Really hard.
And then
I did it.
Could you imagine though, like we said, you had like a week for each chapter, sometimes 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Can you imagine once a day?
Trying to learn something new once a day would be absolutely like I would not be able to retain that.
No.
At all. Like I'm a very visual learner. So like if I see something and repetition, if I see it and I repeat it a couple times, then I can be able to retain that.
Exactly.
But if you're trying to get me to remember one thing every single day, that's never going to happen.
No, not going to happen.
No, not going to happen.
Well, and not only that, but like we are visual learners. And what's going to get cut down is what is crazy to me, what's going to get cut down is the theory.
Mhm.
If you don't have the theory behind what you're doing, how the heck do you even know why you're doing it and how you're doing
That's like the only reason why I passed my practical was because I had my theory. I had all of my notes. I had all of my vocab.
all those key terms.
All my key terms. I had all of those and I studied those. I had over 600 flashcards.
Yeah.
When I took my practical.
Yep.
600 flashcards. That's a lot. But it was all information I needed.
Right. And okay, so the dawn of key terms came from when I was teaching in California.
Yeah.
Because like I said, California, now you don't have to take a practical. You got 110 question written test. So at that point, we're not teaching you how to do the practical test. We're only teaching you how to pass this written test. Yeah. So that's where I found where key terms works around the whole thing.
Well, that's crazy to me that they only have 110 questions on their practical.
Yep.
Because on my practical, I had 100 questions.
Yep.
And then we had to take.
And 10 of them are free. There's like,
well, not
what's your name? Are you a United States citizen? Those dumb questions.
If the salon's on fire, what should you do?
Yeah.
Probably call the fire truck and or put out the fire. I don't know.
Grab the marshmallow.
What do you want me? Start munching.
Yeah. Run fast.
Stop, drop, and roll. We learned that one in kindergarten.
Yep, exactly.
But realistically, how are people that's insane to me. It's only 110 questions when I had to take 110 question exam and then pass that with a certain percentage.
Yep.
And then I had to do a practical, which was like a 5-6 hour thing.
Yep.
That's insane.
It is. And like you said, when you're a Cosmo, like you said, Ash, you don't just learn hair.
Yeah.
You're learning how to do facials. You're learning how to wax. You're learning how to do nails. You're learning how to do manicures, pedicures. You're learning how to do haircuts. You're learning different textures of hair. You're learning how to style hair, how to all the chemicals, all that stuff. And that is disinfecting, not to do cross contamination,
diseases, pathogens.
Yeah,
we're learning everything.
And they want to chop it down, and that it's just crazy to me how it's already chopped down enough where it's scary. I mean, we can get you guys through. And one of the phrases that I hated in beauty school, and I still hate to this day, is, "Oh, you'll learn everything when you get out of here."
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Okay, correct.
Yes.
You're going to learn everything out of there. And like these guys that went to the legislator, they're like, well, I just don't understand why they need to have this much time for all of that stuff, because it will lower student debt and it will also get them faster into the workplace. Correct. But here's the problem with that. If you are uncertain of what you're doing and you get thrown into a salon, and we know there is some amazing salons out there, I consider us kind of like a bridge salon. Yeah. I do continued education. I help my girls 100,000%. But there's some salons out there that promise that, and they don't do that. But I understand that part too, because we just went through this over the holidays. It got a little crazy, and we had no continued education because it was a little nutso for all of us.
But
but you can't. But here's the thing: you get out of beauty school, you come to my salon, right? You did 1,000 hours. You are not confident, guarantee that. And you come to me and you do this hairstyle, or you let's just say you do a balayage, and you get done and everything, and your client is pissed off, and you don't understand what happened. You watch some TikTok tutorials or some YouTube to try to figure it out the night before. You were up till 2 a.m, like
YouTubing it.
And now what happens is now you have a client that is not happy. And now you're defeated because you didn't know what you were doing. Yep. And then you have a salon that has to make a choice whether you are worth the time or not.
Possible lawsuit.
Possible lawsuit, correct. And how is that supposed to help you in the workplace?
Well, not only that, another thing that I was thinking of is you're going to start taking all these people and you're going to take them from all this education and you're going to strip them from that education, right? Because you can't pack all that we learn in that short of time. Yeah. And so eventually it's going to be a loss. Like, and eventually people are going to start doing more and more and more mess ups on people, and there's going to be more lawsuits, and there's going to be more people hurt and more issues rather than just keeping it where it was at to begin with, because education is so important. That's the whole reason why it's
and here's the thing, you guys are paying $25,000 to $30,000 to learn all of this.
And some of us don't get FAFSA or we don't get grants and stuff like that. So we have to pay that out of our pocket.
And I understand where they're like, it'll cut costs, all that stuff, student debt. Yes, it will. But what it's also going to do is it's going to hurt them. You're not going to be able to
get FAFSA.
Truly get FAFSA, because you have to have a certain amount of hours to get qualified for that. And I mean, I just don't, have a hard time understanding.
That's the whole reason why when I first went to cosmetology school is that I started out, I wanted to just do the nail program, right? That's all I wanted to do. They were trying to make me pay $8,000 to do a 16-week course. And because it was only within 16 weeks, I wouldn't qualify for any FAFSA or any grants. So I was going to have to pay $8,000 out of pocket. And mind you, I'm fresh out of high school, 18, just starting my career. And I'm like, I can't afford that. Like, how am I supposed to make that work? And then instead of giving me an alternative, like telling me, okay, well, you know what? Here's another alternative. Let's try cosmetology. Let's try the whole thing. And instead of saying that to me, I backed off. When I could have been doing this since I was 18, I backed off from it because they didn't make it known to me that, like, here's another option. Right. You know what I mean? Because you can't afford this, we can try this, and you would qualify for FAFSA and grants because there's enough hours.
Exactly.
Because there's enough education behind it that it qualifies for state.
That's where, like, the beauty schools need to step up their standards. I mean, I'm going to be 100%, because had your person that you talk to been open with you, instead of worrying about, oh, I need to have this many in this class, this many in this class, so that I can get FAFSA and all that stuff, instead of actually listening to you students, because there's so many of you, like, across the board. I'm not just saying here, I'm saying I've seen it in California, everywhere. They pretty much, you go in there with your mommy, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. And your mom and your dad there, and they're like, yeah, our girl, she's so talented. And you got the person in there, and she's like, yeah, you are. And they blow complete smoke up your ass the whole time to get you to start. And they promise all these things. And then you start and you get halfway through and then they come to you, because I've been the educator that they came to. Why are we not doing this? Why am I not learning this? Why haven't we done it? Why? And I'm over here like, oh, great freaking question.
Yeah. When I was in there, the biggest thing that I thought we were going to learn was color formation. Like,
and you didn't learn color I learned
it more than other people did. Yeah, I learned it more than other people did because the color wheel was a big thing. When we did that with you, that was a huge thing. And I was like, oh, okay, this makes more sense.
Way more sense.
But then, like, after that, it was just like
cricket.
Talked about nothing.
Well, and that's why I tried to, on the floor, I tried to, when I did my consultation, I would be like, so what level is the hair? What color is it? I know I got
for that. It's just ridiculous. That's a whole different.
Be an educator that gives a shizzle, because they treat like do. Yeah, I know there's some of you out there, and I know there's some schools that do take really good care of you, but I've had one that, I need to see 6 therapists because
questionable
their
choices in life. But either way, like, I think it is so important to have as much education when it comes to cosmetology as possible. This is a never-ending field. Yes. There's always something new to learn. There's always something new that's coming out.
And that's what when you say you're going to learn the majority of it when you get out of beauty school, those are the things that you're going to learn. What happens?
Cosmetology as a whole is a never-ending field. It is always growing. It is always fast-paced and moving. There's always something new to learn, and it will forever be that.
Right, and that's what I was getting at that's why I hate when they say, oh, you'll learn all this stuff when you get out of beauty school. No, you're going to learn different techniques. Mm-hmm. And yes, some of us stylists have been doing it since dirt was born. We have made mistakes. We all make mistakes. Mm-hmm. But the thing about it is, when you make mistakes out in salon world, with the education and the things that you learned, you know how to fix that mistake. If you do not, then you don't, right? And what we continue to learn when we are out there is these different techniques like air touch, like gel X nails, all these things that are coming in style now. The butterfly cut, the wolf cut. Oh my gosh!
They're the same thing.
If I hear
Same
that
thing.
one more time,
I know. Well, now it's the whole. There's so many.
It's all layers.
Yeah, it's just gobs of layers.
Yes.
Gobs of layers.
But they changed the names, you know.
Well, yeah, it used to be the shag. That's what it was called back
Shag.
when I was younger. It's a shag,
Shag.
and then it became a butterfly cut, and then after that, now it's the wolf cut because
The wolf
that's
cut
what's
is
in.
the shag cut. The butterfly cut is like
Oh, it's like a long layered.
Foster hair.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
longer
Yeah,
layers.
it's like a long layered
You
look.
can tell Lashes does nails, right?
Yeah. I mean, I am a haircut girly. Let me tell you, I can cut some freaking hair.
You can cut some.
But I prefer flanges, okay? And we learned that in school.
Yeah.
Like, you learn that word in school.
Exactly. But we just kind of want to bring some awareness because, I mean,
it's important. It's important to be educated. It's important to be educated. And it's important to know what you're doing so that way you don't hurt somebody. You can seriously cause harm in this field. Seriously cause harm. I mean, think about it. Women are doing chemical peels on people's faces. If they're not educated to do that, they can cause burns.
Oh, yeah.
They can cause eyesight damage, infections, you name it.
Well,
like, it is so important to know what you're
Idaho right now, you can be a lash tech and not be regulated. And I teach eyelash extensions, but I teach them how to sanitize, how to do all of the things that are supposed to be taught with it. When there's other people out here teaching it, pretty much just showing you how to put them on.
Yeah.
And then I have people come in and they literally have a whole bead of glue across their eyelash and they're like, don't they look good? And I'm going,
I'm like, girl,
those
are not
they're not good. Yeah, you're not supposed to have a whole line of glue. Let me take those.
But I was telling somebody the other day, because they're like, well, why do you even need to be licensed? I was like, why? Would you want somebody who's a plumber to not be licensed to do your plumbing?
Correct.
Would you want an electrician who's not licensed to do your electrical work and cause your house to go up in flames? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's if we have OSHA, they have OSHA. I think it's pretty important we get licensed and that we know what we're doing and that our hours are not chopped down to nothing, because eventually it's going to go, oh, well, we chopped it down to 1,000, so let's just remove it down to 600 and call it a day. No, it don't work that way. You can't cram all the information and hope somebody can retain that in very, very little hours.
And when you go to school for a trade as electrician, as plumber, as Cosmo, as barber, as all these things, when you leave there, you're a professional.
Yes.
Why are you a professional? Because you learn all that stuff.
Yes.
We're not practicing.
We're educated.
Yep.
That's why.
And we are, when we're behind the chair, behind the desk, whatever it may be, we have to be professional, right? Yep. If we have a client come in, we're not doctors, but if we have a client come in, got something sus, we're the ones that have to tell them, hey,
unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do this today. You will need to see a doctor.
Right, but if we didn't know that, how is that going to protect you and how is that going to protect me?
It's not, because I'm just going to go ahead and continue with the service because I don't know any better.
Because I don't know any
better. And then
better.
guess what? I just gave myself gangrene, or I just gave myself MRSA or staph, or who knows?
Haircuts are more than just holding the hair up and cutting it. There's angles. There's different face shapes. When your client comes in and goes, cowlicks, all of that world. When your client comes in and goes, I don't know what'll look good on my face. And you're like, I don't know either, girl. Let's Pinterest it together. Does that sound professional? Let's just scroll. Do you like this one? Do you think this one will cover my double chin?
I got to tell a little story really fast.
Story.
Yes. I was in it. This was after you left. I'm a senior, right? So I'm about ready to graduate. I got like 100 hours left. I'm almost done. The girl next to me just came out of foundations. Love her dearly. She was so funny for this. She's sitting there doing a haircut on her client and proceeds to tell her client, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh no. What?
I said, girl,
abort. Oh no.
It took everything inside of me. When I'm working on my client who's like been there since day one, like knows me from the get-go.
I loved our
She like cracks up. She starts laughing and I'm like, trying to hold it together.
Yeah.
And the client in her chair, I could just see her face. She sinks into her chair more. And I was
literally like all of a sudden I have to.
I was like,
where's the back door?
there's some things you can't teach.
No.
You can't. But in beauty school, it's really important to teach professionalism and
For
like
sure.
safety standards.
Yes.
But it just cracked me up because I was like, oh, this is the generation coming out. Like,
It
I'm
is.
so terrified.
It is. Well, and you know what's truly going to happen? This is what we're going to see, right? You're going to have people wanting to go to a hairstylist and stuff, and they're going to be like, how long have you been doing hair? Because if you're past this certain quota, I know you know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry, but I wouldn't go to somebody that's only had 1,000 hours of education. I wouldn't trust it. I'd be like, do you actually know everything? You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to get my hair right up. Like,
they're out there doing it.
which is crazy.
And some of them, it has been good for. And then others, it hasn't. I'm not talking like on an education, how they learn standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm talking as an industry as a whole. We do phenomenal things, and we do them because we know what we're doing, and if we go out there and we do it, and we're just, like we said, raw dogging it, like, sorry, messed up your hair, girl. Oh, it must have been your Flintstone vitamins, What? Flintstone vitamins? There's only a few medications that make it hard for hair to do anything.
Yeah.
And it ain't Flintstones.
Yeah, they'll come up with anything. I swear.
They will.
They'll pull anything out of their butt
to cover what they did. But
their mess up. Yeah.
And then here's the thing. Then as a client, here's from a client standpoint, right? I go to Lashes here, and we have a mishap because I don't like to say mistake, as Lashes told you.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell my students that, oh, we made a discovery, or I tell them, can I show you a tricky trick? I never said that to them without backing up why I did, and to point out to them, this is why this happened, and this is what we need to do from now on.
Or how we can fix it
right now. Yes, correct. So I go to you, we have a mishaps, and I'm pissed. Okay. Clients, sometimes they're going to show you, it's going to get crazy. Or there's other times they're like, yeah, look.
You get like the 80% of clients that are like super shy like that and don't say anything. And then you get like that 20% that will scream. They will embarrass the daylights out of you. Yep. But it's like, this is their body. This is their confidence that takes 2 seconds to ruin.
And if here's how you think as a client, because you've been a client, I've been a client, we've all been clients, right? If I go to somebody and they mess up my hair and it's not too bad, I will probably go back to that person and have them fix it, correct? Right? Because they're going to fix it for free. And if they charge you, what the hell?
Yeah, what's wrong with them?
Great client report. Great customer service.
No, if I'm going to go to somebody and they mess my hair up and then they're going to charge me to fix their mess up, I'm never going to do it.
No. But let's say I go to you and it's a good discovery. It's like Christopher Columbus discovery.
Like cheetah printing.
Yes. Or something crazy like that. As a client, it is almost worth it to me to go to Becky down the street and pay another $100 to $300 to $400 to have her fix it.
You never know.
You don't. But do you see the problem with what's going to come about of all of this?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there is students out there in TV land because, California has been doing this since, I believe theirs changed in 2022 or 2023. Okay.
But
so they're doing it.
I want to look at like their statistics on like injuries reported before their hours changed versus after. That's what
are we talking? Are we talking? I wouldn't say injuries. I would say more mistakes.
Well, yeah, but like I kind of want to like dig into like the injuries. Yeah, because it's like you can cut somebody so bad where they can get MRSA and then that's reported, or you can burn somebody's hair off to their scalp where they are literally bald, and like, or you can like give somebody eye injuries because you poked them with a freaking tool or something. Or you never know. You never know.
Well, remember story time. Remember when I was teaching you guys how to do lash lifts and tint, and I accidentally dropped the thing and it landed. Whose eye did it land in? I don't even remember. But I may or may not have accidentally poked an eye.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. And it happens.
It does.
It happens. Like, I'm sorry, but our hands are clumsy and sometimes you drop stuff.
And when you're wearing gloves, you know, because you can feel them.
Oh, even worse. You feel everything with them. Yeah. They're like thicker than hail.
But we just, we just wanted to bring some awareness and kind of give like our point of views. Like I said, I've been an educator for over a decade. I've been in this industry for almost 2 decades. And you were one of my students, and you have been out of salon life for over a year now. Yep. And so freshly like what it is like now versus like back when I was in beauty school. Like I said, even I had 3,200 hours, guys. Yep. 32. So 32.
So different. I can tell you from my honest perspective that if I would have went to school with only 1,000 hours, I would have left way less confident than how I did leave. And granted, I didn't leave very confident because, I'm like, what do I do now? I literally told my mom straight up, I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to make this work. Yeah. Like, I think I'm just going to have to, like, not go and try and do my own salon. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to, like, I was panicking. Yeah. So I can only imagine how absurd and, like, how, like, I would have felt if it was only 1,000 hours. Correct. And then they're like, boot me out the door. Good luck. Yeah. Figure it out. And then you don't feel welcome to come back and ask questions. So don't even bother trying to do that. Right. And then trying to find a salon that fits. Yeah. And when you're the new girl, you're not very comfortable to ask questions or ask for help. Well, we don't have a lot of salons around here either that allow commission. Like, we have like our generics like JCPenney's and Ulta and like that. But we don't really have like a lot of like salons that do that. Yeah. And so it's like you have to like booth rent or you have to figure something out because, that's your only choice. It's true. And it's crazy because I feel we have a lot of salons in Idaho where we live, a lot of them. So we are all out there fighting for it. And then that's why when I started my salon, I wanted my salon to kind of be a bridge salon for these guys. Yeah. When they come out of beauty school, what I mean by bridge salon is that you come in and I still give you that education. I build your confidence back up that I already built up. That they destroyed. Within a week. Yes. Mine too, girl. Okay. But I wanted somewhere for you guys to go to feel safe where I could do those continued education classes. Like, even though you're a nail tech at my salon, she knows my stylist at my salon were my students as well. And when they have haircuts, like they'll call me or they'll come in and talk to me. They'll say, okay, Stace, oh my gosh, like, I'm just going to say a crazy haircut out there, the jellyfish haircut. Oh my Lord. Anyway, if you don't know what the jellyfish cut is, it's completely round. Google it. It's like the Edgar barbers. It's like the Edgar. Yes. And the bowl cut. My Lord. With some length. But they would tell me, okay, I got this haircut and I'm unsure. So I got mannequins, me and my mannequins. I'd bring them out and I'd say, all right, I'm going to break this haircut down for you simply. Because when you teach at a beauty school, certain beauty schools follow those certain basic haircuts. So when I would teach you guys haircuts, I would still have to stay the basics, but then I could teach you the detailing and all that stuff after that kind of made it different. You can't really with haircutting, sorry, sidetrack moment. But with haircutting, you can't really teach like a basic for the said haircut. You know what I mean? Because everybody's hair is different. Everybody's shapes are different. Correct. Their calics are different. The texture, the porosity. Everything in that person's hair is going to be different and vary from person to person. Yep. And so you can't do, like, say I would give you a choppy layered cut, right? And then give myself, who has curly hair, a choppy layered cut. Oh. It would look good on me because I have the curls, but with somebody who has straight hair, you're going to have shelves. Lord Farquaad. Yeah. Coming right. It's like you can't do the same thing per person because everybody's hair is different. And they think that you can do just one base thing for everybody. And it's like it doesn't work that way. Right. So that's why, like, when they come to me or they'll say, Stacey, so let me tell you, I don't know how, but I have become a professional toner color figure outer through pictures and horrible lighting. Oh, and AI. Can't forget about AI. Well, I'm talking like when the girls have a question, they're like, so I lightened this hair to this color, and they send me a picture, and I'm like,
Okay. And
then what?
this is what we started with. Okay, I'm looking at that. Okay. And this is what they want. And then I'm going, oh hell no.
Like, that's not gonna take in 1 second.
Oh,
Please come back next week.
Sorry, leave a message after the beep. But I have become good. I know it's crazy and ludicrous. True, I have. I don't know how, but I kind of look at the tones of it and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I walk them through it like, okay, what are we doing? Are we enhancing the color? Are we neutralizing it? Are we getting rid of what are we doing? Right? You know, all those things that you need to know when you go to school. Anyway,
because you're educated.
and then, you know, I'll help them with their formulas and stuff, but they know that they can come to me and I do it. Like if I'm at the salon and they have a client like real time, I do it without them knowing. I mean, I used to do it for you guys where the clients didn't know what we were talking about or anything like that. You know, so I still do that with them. But that's why, kind of why I built my salon the way I did, because I wanted to be that for you guys because, you know, there's only one beauty school in this town and we all know you ain't learning nothing there.
And not only that, before I even went into Stacy's salon, I tried 2 salons on my own. And I just did not have the confidence and I didn't have the education I wanted. And so me going into Stacy's salon, it's because I wanted to learn more. I wanted to be more educated. And that was my biggest thing is education is everything, especially in a field that is never ending and that is always, always growing. It is so important to educate yourself. 1, because you can make more money. 2, you can be more experienced. And 3, you can teach other people how to properly do something, which I think is the most important thing in everything. I see so many of these girls nowadays, and not shaming them, but they do DIY nails on themselves constantly. And I'm like, you know, kudos to you. If you want to get into that field, good for you. That's how I started. But I also educated myself by learning what can happen if these products are put on my skin and they're uncured. It can give me
go down the rabbit hole.
dermatitis. Yep. Yes. And a lot of these girls are getting
contact dermatitis because gel is one of the worst ones that are giving these young girls that just want to do nails contact dermatitis, and now they can't do nails.
And the reasoning behind it is because the chemicals that are inside that gel are being uncured and left underneath the skin uncured. And so what that does is it causes contact dermatitis. Once you get that, the reality of you ever not getting it is going to be very, 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 very slim.
Yes.
Like you will probably forever have an issue with that, or you'll run into allergens, and then you'll start becoming allergic.
Then you're going to be doing nails with gloves on, and nobody's going to get to see your beauty.
The biggest stickers, they sit there and they blame the product, and it's the product that's giving me this. It's the product that it's the uneducatedness that is causing these issues. Yeah. It's you not being educated and looking into it and reading and, you know, doing research.
They also do like, they'll put a set on, take it off, put a set on, take it off.
So they're always putting that nasty uncured gel on their nails, off their nails all the time.
And we all have a tolerance.
Yes.
We all have a chemical tolerance. We all do. And once your body is past that chemical tolerance, that's when you start having problems. You start having allergic reactions. You start having contact dermatitis. You start, even girls that get their lashes done. If you learn how to do lashes correctly, you will know that there is a tolerance, a fume tolerance. And that's what happens if it's not done correctly, then you can't wear lashes. I mean, we had girls at school had lashes on and their eyes are all swollen shut and they're like,
their skin is peeling off. You should probably give them a break.
They're literally
that's the importance in that we dive so deep into. Is the education and the background of everything. Because yes, it's easy to do that. It's easy to say, oh yeah, I know how to do that. But in reality, like it goes more into depth into all of it.
Yes.
And it's like, it's so important to be educated and to know what you're doing. So that way it limits giving somebody, you know, contact dermatitis or giving them an skin infection or a nail fungal infection. You know, it only takes one bad tool to give somebody an issue.
One greenie, guys. One greenie.
Yeah.
One greenie.
I mean, and greenies are fixable.
Yep.
That's the easy one. That's the one that you can be like, okay, well, let it breathe, let it grow, we'll chop it, then we'll do something new.
Bang boom.
But with other ones, they're like permanent. They're non-fixable,
especially when you get the ones like you said, like when it's burnt so bad, like chemically,
Yeah.
that you have alopecia, which
Yep.
alopecia in our world, if you do not know, means hair that will never come back ever, 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 unless you go get some plugs, girl
Yep.
or guy.
Because at that point, it's like you have literally damaged the follicle of the hair, and there's no point of return once the follicle is completely damaged.
I just have to say, I am so proud of you. Because listen to you. Listen to you.
You did that.
She listened.
1,600 hours. Which girl did that?
This was one that listened.
Yes. When it came to like school, I cracked down and I paid so much attention. And it's because I knew that this was a field that I was interested in, and that I was like, I am not going to be that statistic. I'm not going to be that girl that hurts somebody.
And I loved you because like I had 25 of you at one time?
Yeah.
Holy guacamole and cheese. And some of them fresh out of high school, some of them older, all of that type of stuff. Lashes was my bulldog.
Yeah.
If somebody be getting crazy while we were doing theory or anything, I don't care what it was, Lashes was like,
Don't give me a mannequin head.
No, I may not have taught Lashes how to take her frustrations out on a mannequin with a tail comb.
A metal tail comb.
Yes.
I still have, I think, a video of me giving it piercings, and I took my piercings out or putting it on my mannequin.
Oh my gosh. Orbit and rescue shop.
Mannequins were not safe in Ashley's world. No, they one wrong move and it pissed me off so bad it was flying across the room.
This is why I taught her how to stab it, because she almost took out a mirror.
I did, yeah.
And like,
I'll never. That was funny. Yeah, I was
laughing so hard, but I was like, girl.
Covering promotion flying. I was like, I'm so sorry.
It's true.
I was stressed. Okay, I couldn't get the brush through her hair. The colostrum was too much.
If I never smell that stuff again in my whole life, I would be just fine.
I was so over it. Yeah.
Well, I do apprenticeships at my salon too, and guess what? We use gel. With gel.
They're like, oh, the colostrum, it makes the hair softer. No, it don't.
Oh.
No, it don't. I put 10 pounds of conditioner in that girl's head, and she's still trying to get the brush through it, like it's stuck halfway.
Broke a couple combs, they look like SpongeBob.
Oh my gosh, we had that one brush that like the center of it comes out, and so when I was brushing it, it literally got stuck, and then it ripped the center of it out, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. Yeah, rough.
It was rough. So, and then I was trying to tell you guys tips and tricks, because if you've ever worked on mannequin hair, they lie. It ain't like real hair.
No.
And I would tell them, make sure wash it in cool water. Make sure the water's flowing down the hair like this, because if you get in there and get all crazy, you're going to have
You know what Ashley did every time? She got crazy.
She got crazy.
Because I'm like, oh, it's a real person. Yeah.
She gave a great scalp massage.
Yes.
But, after that.
Could not get the brush through the hair.
Yeah. And then she's telling me, what do I do? And I'm like, girl.
We don't know.
Let me go get a whole bottle of conditioner and oil, and we'll just dump it on there and hope for the best.
Oh, I love it.
True.
Times, yeah.
So with that being said, we just kind of wanted, to give you guys a little heads up in our world, in what we do, and from both sides. Like I said, I'm an educator, an advocate. Ashley is a student who has now become an educator. You guys heard that. Like, I'm so proud.
I think education it's great. And teaching somebody the proper way is better than teaching them the wrong way. And then them reciprocating that and teaching that to other people. Like, I'd rather them know the truth and know how to properly do it than do it incorrectly and cause more damage than good.
Right, because it's easier to stop the problem before it's created and then fix the problem.
Yes.
Because especially when there's more than just us involved. You have another person here that's involved. We will have between us what we need, education-wise, that type of stuff. But now you have this person right here who came in and was like wanting to get their hair done and stuff. And then because you weren't confident because you didn't learn what you needed to learn.
Or they walk out and they're so upset because I didn't do it the way they wanted it to be done.
Right.
Because I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
Well, I hope you guys had as much fun as me and Ashley did today. Yes. And remember, this was raw. We raw dogged it. Yes. No editing, no nothing like that. I mean, we had Garfield cheering. My kid was just here.
Straight from the heart.
Straight from the heart.
Our opinions, and how we feel about the situation, and
not bashing, not trying to hurt anybody, any feelings, anything like that, but an awareness that needs to be brought.
Yes.
Because these things are happening and they're getting worse and worse.
Well, these things are happening and they're not being talked about.
No.
It's kind of been swept under the rug and everybody's just kind of just now hearing about it. And I'm like, this is definitely something that needs to be brought upon and brought attention to because it's very important.
It is very important. And like we said, like we learn all these things because we're a step down from medical. We can possibly deal with blood. We deal with bodily functions. We deal with muscles. We deal with bones, all of these things. And I mean, we have to sanitize our stuff with hospital grade stuff.
Yep.
That ought to tell you something, I mean, we're not just in there putting bleach on stuff or wiping it with a Lysol wipe.
I don't even use bleach. I don't even use bleach.
I only use bleach in the sink because like when the color gets over in there.
To kind of get rid of the color. Yeah, no, I use barbicide or clippercide is what I use.
Same.
And when we were in cosmetology school, we used Virex.
Yeah.
And Virex is literally the same stuff hospitals use.
It is. They kill different bacterias, and that's what we need them to do because I mean, we do have different funky things that live on our bodies that we come in contact with.
Yeah, well, you never know what people are touching outside of like being in the salon. Like you never know what they're doing on their day-to-day basis, and then they come in and they touch your stuff.
Oh, story real quick. Don't mean to cut you off. What did I do when we were in beauty school, when we were learning about...
That was so much fun. So we went around and we had like our little cotton swabs. So we went around and we swabbed everything. So we swabbed like stations, hair tools. We swabbed door handles. Computers, door handles, everything people like basically touch or they look at or they can lick, whatever, you name it. You name it, we swabbed it. And then we cultured it. And
I made homemade petri dishes and we let it grow so that they could see the different bacteria like Staphylococcus.
And we're trying to find MRSA and all of that kind of stuff. And we did. We found everything under the sun.
What was the grossest thing? Do you remember?
I think, wasn't it
It was the computer.
Yes, the computer was the nastiest because nobody ever cleaned the computer.
And who had a big ass thing of hand sanitizer next to that computer?
Yeah, that computer was gross.
It was so gross when they checked the petri dish. Literally every single one of them went and got barbicide wipes. They saw wipes. That whole computer got it.
Opening that cupboard and just the smell.
Oh, it was horrible. And it was only in there a week.
Yeah, I was like, take it back. And I was like, all right, we're done. Ashley's going to get the Virex right now.
It was so, but I did that so that you guys can see how easy it is. I mean, you guys also did things that were supposed to be clean.
Yeah, because people don't believe things until they see it.
Yep, correct.
So,
and I was a fun educator and did stuff like that.
But like, honestly, like think about it. Like it could have taken one of us to cut ourselves a little tiny bit, right? Mm-hmm. To touch that bacteria and then to have that in our bloodstream.
And how many of you guys did cut yourself sometimes?
Ashley was the pro at that.
Yeah.
I literally documented how many times I cut myself when I was in cosmetology school, and I think it was over 20. Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I know.
I mean,
it was bad.
I may or may not have cut myself when I was teaching you guys how to cut hair that one time. Remember
that? She's like, yeah, I'm going to teach you how to do a
blood exposure
experience. Like, whipping out haircuts so fast, but I was also not being smart and cutting past my second knuckle all the time. Don't do that. Don't pull it, Ashley, because then you'll end up with scars.
Literally.
Scars.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scars.
I've got so many of them.
It's true.
But I mean, we live and we learn, and that's part of our education is we learn not to cut past the second knuckle, and for that reason, so that way you don't cut yourself. It's all things that we learn.
These are all the little things that are like coming to light. You would never think, like we said, in a million years. That hair cutting, you got to hold the hair at different angles, at different projection levels. Yeah. All of that stuff. It's not just, I'm going to hold the hair here and I'm just going to cut it and hope for the best.
And that's going to give her beautiful layers.
And then sectioning, like we have to section a certain way to get it to blend. We've got a certain section or weave a certain way if we want different dimension. All of that stuff.
Placing your foils between a certain level within the root of the hair and the shaft of the hair.
Yeah, you can't take that big of a section.
Exactly. Like your sections have to be thin and they have to be precise. And you have to put your foils within so many distance between the root, and that's why you don't get bleeding or you don't get expanded sheen. And all of that.
Like some lighteners swell, so you can't bring that lightener clear to the end of that foil, which our brains want us to do.
I know, but it's like pain right here.
Yeah.
You know,
You
it's
have
like,
to stop, and then your brain's going,
why'd you do that?
why they stop?
Can't do that.
Yeah.
There were so many girls that had to do so many root taps while in school.
Well, this
So
is
many.
why root taps were invented.
Yes. I think so too. Ashley was a
I'm
root
not
tap
saying.
queen.
Well, that and like, well, I believe balayage came along because like some people just got sick of going in for the maintenance on highlight, and it grew out, and they were like, you know, that kind of looks
You're like,
cool.
this looks kind of cute. I like the dark root moment with like the light, and that was me. I was a dark root moment. Like, I didn't like highlights. I liked my balayages.
Most, you know, a lot of our hair history are mistakes that made it big. You know, like T-Boz, you know, half of her hair got burned off, and that's how she started with the asymmetrical cut. The Rachel guys, all your Friends fans, Rachel haircut, that was a botched haircut, and now everybody wants it.
It's so pretty though.
It is.
So pretty.
But that's what I mean. Like, sometimes you have beautiful mistakes, right? We have beautiful discoveries.
Well, yeah, and then that's why they're learned upon, and then they're recorded, and then it's educated.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, yeah, because once these people, like, let's just say, like, we learned a new, like, air touch. Whoever learned air touch, props to you. That's freaking genius. Honestly.
Like, whoever came up with luminary, genius. Whoever genius.
Whoever came up with that, they still need to be able to educate how to do it.
Exactly, and how to properly do it.
Yes. Yep.
That's the important part, is how to, like, do it and properly do it in a safe
manner.
Yeah, what she said. My brain fart just kicked in, and it was like,
I know. I I'm all
see it. Done. I know. I was like, what's that word again? What's the pregnancy brain? But just education is important, and I will speak it to the day I die that being educated it makes everything.
It does.
It makes you who you are. And if you're not educated, you're not going to go far.
And we are the ones that are going to stand up and change the stigma behind our industry. Nobody else is going to do it. You know, I mean, we are the ones that are in the trenches. We know what's going on. We see everything that's going on. And we are the voices that need to be heard. If this goes through, I mean, we will adapt and overcome. But if we can do what we can do to get it to be done, then why shouldn't we try? It takes that one voice to make a change, right? We may be heard. We may not be heard. We may be that voice, or we may just be backing up the voice. But we just wanted to bring awareness and to tell you guys like both sides of the story. You know, as educators, salon owner, worked in the industry, to student, worked in the industry, everything. We wanted to bring light to this and how this is so important, and how sometimes people are uneducated, let's be real, and they don't know what we do and how we do or why we do. And then you get people saying, oh, my 15-year-old can do it. Good, honey. I was 15 and did black box too. Did I have any chemical burns? Probably not.
Probably did.
Who knows? My head may have itched for a little while. I don't know why. I just itched and kept going.
Yeah, we just called it good.
Yeah, whatever. I had the doo-doo figure for 6 weeks hoping that stuff would go away. Who the hell knows? Right?
It didn't. Newsflash.
Newsflash. It doesn't. But, you know, I understand where he's coming from with that, because, again, it's the uneducatedness.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, yeah, your daughter may have done her hair and does her hair, but it only is going to take one time for her to completely burn her hair off, or burn somebody else's hair off, or cause more harm than good. And
yeah,
you know,
we ain't trying to be out here. Sorry, Brad Mondo.
Yeah.
No.
I support to an extent. That's where I'm at with it. It's like, I support DIYing to an extent. If you're going to educate yourself about it, go for it. You know what I mean? If you're going to have the education behind it and know how to do it properly, then go for it.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to feed into it and learn the education that is so important to learn, don't even bother.
Correct.
Don't bother doing it. You're just going to cause more harm than good. And that's the last thing we want to see.
Well, and honestly, all of us in the business, we want to be the best. How do you be the best, guys?
By learning.
By learning.
By learning.
Learning.
And continuing to learn.
Yes.
You can't just stop at one thing and be like, all right, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
Yep. No. That's what we call...
Well, and it's a field that's always growing. Like, people are going to come to you and they're going to be like, oh, I want this really cool anime hair. And these older people are going to be like,
yeah. And
so, Bob, you want a pixie cut. Because it's all the same, you know what I mean? They're not willing to learn something new.
No.
And so they'll just be stuck in the same spot.
Yep.
Forever.
Yep. We don't grow unless we step out of our comfort zone, sister.
Exactly. And that's our job, is to step out of our comfort zone to get other people to step out of their comfort zone.
Well, yeah, because there's so many
I don't think Ashley has a
businesses.
comfort zone.
I mean, no.
I have no comfort zone.
But there's so many job possibilities in our industry too. It's
so
not
many.
just working at a
many.
salon. You can go do hair and makeup on celebrities, professionals, or anything like
weddings.
that. You can do weddings. You can
Kids.
do kids. You can.
Not only that, I could,
TV.
if I wanted to, I can continue my education by going to school, getting my RN, and then I could turn around and do Botox or lip filler or all of that stuff, and that's making big money, you know? But it's like, in order to continue and in order to be the best that I can be, I have to continue to learn something new.
Yep.
And I'm okay with that, because then I'm like, yeah, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I learned how to do that actually. Or yeah, I educated myself enough to know how to do that.
And doesn't that sound so much more professional than I watched a TikTok tutorial?
I get my clients that come in and they're like, can you do this? And I'm like, you know what, girl, I'm going to try.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me look some things up really fast. I'm going to try it. And if I can't, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But I at least try.
When we tried with my nails.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like, I will always try to figure it out at first before I just immediately, I'm like, no, I don't know how to do that. Find somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and that just differentiates me from a lot of people.
Correct. And that's why you have amazing clients and they keep coming back. Because you're willing to learn and you haven't forgotten customer service, because we are huge customer service.
Yeah, that's so important too.
So
knowing how to talk to your clients.
Yeah. And you learn that in school.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
You
learn business.
You really do learn that in school. That's like the first thing of foundations, really, I think, honestly, is you learn how to really talk to people.
Yep.
And you learn how to do consultations in school. And I think that is so important, because if you just start going at it without no knowledge of nothing, you're screwed. You got to ask people, what's on your hair before? Have you ever bleached it before? Is there any other product on here? Is this virgin hair? Whatever it may be.
But then in the middle of that, learning that consultation, like I said before, you got to learn how to pivot too, because we know sometimes clients lie. Or my favorite one is, I haven't colored my hair in 2 years, but her hair's down here. Where's that color living? Yeah. It's
right
still there. It doesn't magically disappear, honey.
Nope. And you want your hair about this long?
Yeah.
I don't think so, girl.
Yeah. But you wouldn't know that again.
I don't want my hair. Well, yeah, I had black box down my hair, and I was like, that shit's to the root. I said, it's all the way to my root. I said, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then I did color remover twice before I even dyed it, before I even took lightener to it.
And that's what? Another chemical.
Yeah. It is. It is. Very strong chemical.
It's so sticky.
Rotten. Sulfur.
Sulfur. It's true.
Education is just so important. With the lack of it, I feel like the beauty industry will crash. Agreed. And it will burn. Agreed. And everybody that's in it is going to crash and burn with it.
Agreed.
So it's important.
It is. Well, Lashes, I'm so grateful that you came to have this talk with me, even though it was a lot of shenanigans.
Yes, but we love it. We love it that way. Yes. Keeps it entertaining.
It's true. It's true. And like I said, I just wanted to come on here and bring some awareness to an industry that I am so very dedicated to and passionate about and have been for decades. And it's like I said, it only takes one voice.
It takes one person to change the world.
One person to change the world. And we are going to try and do our best to help change our industry and the stigma and try to get some more structure in there that needs to be structured, especially for students. But thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
This is Dying to Be Beautiful. And if anything like this hit you the right way, you want to share it with somebody or anything like that, or if you have any input to put in, I would love to hear from you. So leave a comment below, and thanks for having fun with us. Bye.